What's up, guys? This is Soundwave Jordan here, and we are back once again with some more gaming news. In today's gaming news, we are going to be discussing Darksiders 3. That's right, guys. We are back once again with some more Darksiders 3 news. For those who do not know, I have been keeping up with Darksiders 3 for the longest, and of course, we are going to be talking about more news regarding this game. Darksiders 3, guys, it's looking pretty darn promising, at least in my opinion. I've been playing Darksiders 1 and 2, and I gotta say, I've been enjoying the experience. They had some type of $20 bundle on Xbox, and I gotta say, it's pretty darn awesome replaying those games because I really enjoyed it back then, and I'm currently enjoying it as of now, but I'm playing it on the harder difficulties and all of that, so it makes everything a bit more fun and a bit of a challenge that I didn't have before. So now that that's out of the way, let's actually talk about what's important here. We got some new news regarding Darksiders 3. First and foremost, we are going to be talking about how Darksiders 3 is going to be evolved from the other previous Darksiders, as well as we're going to be talking about the new level designs that were mentioned with IGN. And finally, I'm going to be leaving a link inside the description so you guys will be able to post your questions, because IGN is currently hosting a AMA regarding Darksiders 3 and Gunfire games, and you guys will be able to ask all of your questions. So I will leave that link inside the description so you guys will be able to ask your questions regarding, your thoughts and potential things of Darksiders 3. So be on the lookout for that. Be sure to check out the description. But let's actually talk about the evolution of Darksiders. As you guys already know, Darksiders 1 and Darksiders 2, they were pretty standard games. Well, not Darksiders 2 at least. Darksiders 1, it was more of your regular hack and slash game, but instead it was based on a new type of lore. This lore was based on the Revelations portion of the Bible, and of course it had a little twist in it regarding the council, heaven, hell, the four horsemen, the four horsemen of the apocalypse and everything around that area. In Darksiders 2, it improved that. The gameplay was a lot smoother, a lot faster. There was a lot of RPG elements, including loot, gear, weapons, just everything along those lines. And we also got to see the major in-depth dungeons of Darksiders 2. And I gotta say, as I'm playing Darksiders 2 right now, I was playing it a bit earlier today, you can clearly see that the Darksiders 2 was a vast improvement over Darksiders 1. Pretty much the game is huge compared to Darksiders 1, and I gotta say, it's pretty darn awesome. The question is, will Darksiders 3 be able to do that? Well, here's what I want to talk about with you guys. The developers sat out with IGN and pretty much gave out their goals for Darksiders 3 to make this game feel like an amazing experience. Pretty much give us a feeling that we've never experienced within the Darksiders franchise. And I gotta say, it's gonna be pretty darn awesome. Right now, I'm gonna talk about it with you guys right now. So, one of the things they mentioned for Darksiders 3, they wanted the game to be a lot more sophisticated. Meaning that they wanted the game to be smart. They wanted the enemies to feel a bit more lifelike. They didn't want the enemies to feel like some type of standard game where you just have them walking around the area, going in a pattern, doing some weird things with themselves and all that. No, they wanted the enemies to actually have a bit of life in them. So for example, you guys will see an enemy sleeping, you guys will see enemies interacting with other enemies and all of that, and pretty much that will make the whole entire world of Darksiders 3 feel a bit more immersive. It will make you feel like you're actually part of the game and you're actually witnessing everything with your own eyes. That was one of the things they mentioned. They said they wanted Darksiders 3 to feel less gamey and more immersive. Now, I know the phrase less gamey could be, different for most people. Many people can interpret it differently. However, when they say less gamey, they pretty much do not want the game to feel like some standardized hack and slash dungeon game. They want the game to actually feel lifelike, pretty much make you feel like you're part of the experience when you're actually going up against these enemies. So I gotta praise them for that. I have no problems with that whatsoever, as long as they make the game fun and of course make it not completely different, but improve upon the original Darksiders. I'm completely fine with it. I'm completely fine with their developing choices and all of that, but as long as they make an improvement from the original Darksiders games, because Darksiders 2 was a vast improvement over Darksiders 1, and all I want to do is make Darksiders 3 have the same fate, make Darksiders 3 an improvement over Darksiders 2. So, that's just how I feel regarding the situation. On to the next topic. The next thing they also mentioned was the fact that they wanted to have the puzzles, the combat, and story a part of the world. Now, when they say a part of the world, they didn't want to make it feel like, hey, this is a weapon, this is some type of puzzle that just happens to be a coincidence, if you guys get what I'm saying. They didn't want those elements of the game to just to be there. They actually want those elements of the game to actually be part of the world, meaning that what's an example I can give you guys? Okay, so whenever you guys are going to be chasing down the sins, as you guys already know, Fury, her task is to capture the 7 deadly sins. Whenever we're going to be chasing and fighting the sins, their world, their puzzle, their whole entire domain, their area is going to be themed with them. Say for example, when you guys saw the gameplay, you guys saw Fury going against Sloth, and you guys saw that Sloth was some type of giant beetle king, lazy beetle king, whatever. And as you guys can recall, around that area, you guys clearly saw that Sloth was pretty much, you know, a hive. It was a whole entire hive. It had a whole bunch of nest bugs, just everything around that. And that's pretty much what they want to succeed with the enemies, the puzzles, everything regarding that. They pretty much want to make that feel like it's actually part of the world instead of just having some random puzzles so you can actually go through the game. They want it to actually be meaningful, and I actually respect it. You know, it makes it an awesome experience, and I got no problems with that whatsoever. So I'm looking forward to it. The combat, obviously, when they say combat, that pretty much means that they're going to be having certain scenarios where you're probably going to have to use this weapon to actually get past it and all of that. You know, they actually want to make things make sense where you're actually playing the game instead of you just using some random weapon or some random item and you're just like, aha, I get to pass through because I have this item. You know, they want the game to feel less gamey, more immersive, and I have no problem with that. To continue on, they also said that the world itself is a character. The world of Darksiders 3 is going to be a character. And when they said that, I was a bit confused, to be honest, because, you know, a character, obviously you're comparing it to a world, but then again, I started thinking to myself, and it makes sense. They want the world of Darksiders 3 to have many characteristics, giving it a lot of personality, giving it its own flavor. And that is one thing I have to give them credit for. When I was playing Darksiders 2, once again, I was just witnessing everything, the massive world, the whole experience. And I gotta say, the way they tackled the corruption, heaven and hell, it was truly magnificent. And I gotta say, it was so freaking awesome just experiencing that. And I truly hope that they're going to be succeeding with this in Darksiders 3, because when I saw the world of Darksiders 2, I was just in awe, especially when I played it for the first time. And I'm just hoping that I'll be able to have the same experience when I play Darksiders 3. Be impressed, be in shock, be completely traumatized by the beautiful world that Darksiders has to offer. And that's just what I'm hoping for in Darksiders 3. They pretty much said that the whole entire world is going to be a giant dungeon, meaning that, you know, it's going to have its own type of puzzles. There's going to be different scenarios. In other words, pretty much giving us major exploring options. As you guys already know, Darksiders 2 had extreme exploring options. There was a time where I spent about 45 minutes, close to an hour, just exploring a part of the map in which I was not even supposed to explore yet. And that just goes to show you that the developers behind Darksiders, they are really in depth when it comes to the world of the game. And that is something that I truly hope they keep with Darksiders 3. And from the looks of it, it looks like they are going to be doing the same thing, considering that they're saying that the world itself is going to be a character, and that makes me pretty darn happy. They said the world's going to be a giant dungeon, and if that's going to be a giant dungeon, well, I just truly hope that it makes me feel like I'm an explorer inside of the game, and it's something I will be looking forward to. So pretty much that sums up all the news that we got today, guys. We also got some news that they want to achieve no loading screens in the game. They said that without loading screens, the game will actually feel like a continuous journey, and it will create a wonderful experience for the player. And I gotta admit, that does happen. When there is no loading screen, I actually do feel like I'm in the game. Not that I have any problems with it, but I'm just saying, when there is no loading screen, I feel like I'm completely diving into the whole feel and experience of the entire game. And you know, that's just what a loading screen, well, no loading screen offers me personally. So like I said, we talked about the game being more sophisticated, less gamey, more immersive, having puzzles, story, and combat an actual part of the world, with the world itself being a character as well as being a giant dungeon. Those are the things we covered today, and I gotta say, if those are the goals of Gunfire Games and they succeed, Darksiders 3 is going to be a awesome experience, and I cannot wait. This game will be releasing in 2018, so you guys already know we are going to be having lots and lots of news. I just cannot wait. I will also leave links inside the description so you guys will be able to check out the videos where Gunfire Games sat down with IGN and talked about the level design of Darksiders 3 while also playing Darksiders 1 and 2. That's right, they actually sat down playing the original Darksiders, talking about the things they want to achieve for Darksiders 3. I will also leave a link, as I mentioned before, inside the description. We'll be able to post your questions for the upcoming AMA that Gunfire Games is going to be having with IGN. So be on the lookout for that, guys, because we have lots of news regarding Darksiders 3 coming real soon, and I will be here give you guys all the latest and greatest news regarding this game. So be sure to hit the subscribe button for all your information regarding Darksiders 3, because I will be here give you guys every little piece of detail, and of course give you guys my opinions and thoughts on some of the news that will be releasing in the near future. With that being said though, guys, thank you guys for watching nonetheless. This is Simon Jordan here. Peace, late, and see you guys in the next Darksiders 3 video. I'm out. To have a lovely day, and be sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below.